You've known me a long time, Roy. I'm a reasonable man. I'm offering you a good price.
Lyle, don't try to cheat me. I invited you out here to cheat you.
You won't see a higher price on land offered anywhere.
I'm offering higher for yours right now.
Come on, Roy, sell me some land.
Me too, Roy.
Talked to the senator yesterday. He said Washington's about ready to make an offer. If we take much longer, the whole thing may fall through.
All right. You want me to up my offer $10?
Lyle, I keep telling you I don't want your money. I want your land.
Ah. Let's watch the rodeo. That's what we came for, isn't it?
Stoney Burke.
Gamble, the San Bronx rider, Cowboy from Walla Walla, Washington, the horse Cactus. Watch that horse as he changes directions through there. Deke Gamble in a storm and hits the ground hard. No score for that disappointed Cowboy as he walks back, but it was a good try on a mighty rough bucking horse. Guy Wells from Abilene, Texas, our next rider. His horse Buffalo. The spinning horse right there in front of the chute ties up Guy Wells. He can't move those feet to make any points in the judges' book. It's all the way to the whistle. A successful ride for Guy Wells. Here's the judges' score. 164 points. Pick up and get that Cowboy back on the ground. On down now to another Saddle Bronc rider. Getting set to go in the chute. It's John Jameson. He comes from Paso Robles, California. The score that he's trying to beat.
Hey, Bruce, you're looking good.
Oh, look what the crow dropped.
You know him, boy? Yeah, me neither. Don't let on no. He ain't been riding too long.
I heard you were thinking of hanging it up and giving us green hands a chance, huh?
I still got a few shakes left of me, Stoney.
Well, you've been piling up the points more like you were just starting out.
Don't you come wheezing around me just because the competition's getting rough.
Hey, Bruce!
Yeah!
You're up!
Yeah, keep a close watch, Stoney. Learn some of the fine points.
Fine points are how to land on your head. Good luck.
Get him over, E.J. Keep that head straight. I think he wants to bite my toes. Now, let me have him.
Ride that horse!
Look at that ride that he's making. Look at the timing with those feet as he reaches high end as he comes to his neck. Spurs that horse all the way back.
Gonna make a good score.
Remember the judges score from 1 to 20 for how well the Cowboy rides that horse, and 65 to 85 for how hard the animal is to ride. Bruce Austin back on the ground, and listen to this. His score, 181, the best ride today.
You hear? Nobody's gonna top that today.
Well, I think Stoney Burke stands a chance.
Burke? Not in the same class.
I've got 500 that says he is.
500? Oh, now, look, if you're gonna put up money, let's go for a big one.
All right, we'll make 1,000.
Roy, honey. Just a sip, please.
Oh, come on, Roy. All she wants is a sip.
Go on down now to our next man. Stoney Burke now, Mission Ridge, South Dakota, the up-and-coming young bronc rider that's been such a sensation.
Can't put it off any longer.
Tug on that rein too hard, he'll liable to backflip on you.
All right. Let's dance.
Slashing spurring style has turned in some of the greatest rides seen in professional rodeo this season. It looks like he's making another good one here. Bronc riding.
Stay with him, Stoney!
Cowboy is a sure bet for a future championship. Listen now for the score, 181 also for Stoney Burke.
Oh, my.
This means that Bruce Austin and Stoney Burke are tied for the lead in the saddle bronc riding here. Identical scores of 180.
Hey there, Stoney. Land on your head, you'll always have strong ankles.
Yes, you look kind of unnatural holding on to a work implement.
Well, I like to keep my hands in the agricultural skills.
That was a nice ride, boy.
It's like we're tied up, Bruce.
That's got to be a mistake, Stoney. Those judges were so impressed the way I rode that old horse, they must have wrote the same score down twice.
They score by the size of your mouth. You win fair.
Even tie wipes out the bet.
Well, they ought to be riding the same rodeo again soon. Why don't we leave the bet on the table?
Leave it on and double it.
Well, if you're going to start talking like that, let's go for a real bet, huh? You put up your land, and I'll put up mine. Let's let those two twisters decide who sells to who.
I'm not so sure about that, Roy.
Why not? Neither one of us is going to give in. And if we don't soon, the whole deal may fall through. If Austin wins, I'll sell you my land at your price. Burke wins, you sell your parcels to me. That way, it's decided for us.
Let them decide it, huh?
As simple as that. You lose, you still get top dollar for your land. You win, you get the headache of building the project by yourself.
And the long-term profits. No telling how much it'll be worth eventually.
Well?
Roy, you got yourself a bet.
That's the signal for time. 3 timers up here in the stand with us. They're watching graduating.
Pardon me. I'm looking for Stoney Burke. You know where I can find him?
Oh, yes, sir. Well, I was his lifetime friend, colleague, and personal manager. You just acting like one of the boys. Painter's name, sir, V. Painter.
How do you do? Where can I find Burke?
You just stay right where you are, Mr. Hazelton. I'll have one of my associates run him over here for you.
Thank you.
After the rope, back on his horse and moves the horse up the flag of the road. Then the field flag judge starts to stop watching the
Stoney, man, this is your lucky day. Guess who I was just talking to about you?
Knowing you, I'd hate to guess.
Oh, no, this is big stuff, Stoney. Roy Hazelton.
Yeah, son. Roy Hazelton?
That's right. The Roy Hazelton. You can quit squinting at me now, Stoney. I spent a lot of time getting him interested in you. Well, I got him worked up to where he's asking to meet you.
What would he want to meet me for?
Why? Well, the biggest financier and multi-millionaire business tycoon in the whole Southwest wants to have a private audience with a first-year contender, and you want to know why?
Yeah, why?
Well, I don't know. But I bet you there's some scratching in Summers. Oh. Mr. Hazelton, this is Stoney Burke, sir. And I want to say it's my pleasure to bring you two fine gentlemen together.
Pleased to meet you, Stoney.
Mr. Hazelton?
I was watching you out there today. You look pretty good.
Well, could be better.
Well, tying's good, but winning is always better. Of course, Bruce Austin's hard to beat, huh?
Well, we get to bump heads again next week. We both ended over at Sydney.
I'm betting on you.
Betting?
Get a mark higher than Austin. A little wager I have with a friend of mine. It means a lot to me to have you beat him.
Well, that depends on what kind of horse I draw. But I guarantee I'll be going for first.
Well, I'm counting on that, but there's a little something extra, too.
Oh?
$1,000.
Are you, pulling my ears, Miss Hazel?
No. I know I can't buy a winning ride, but I can put up a little extra incentive.
You can do anything you want, Mr. Hazelton. I got nothing to sell.
Stoney, I was just wondering, I'm having a little barbecue at my place tonight. Maybe you'd like to come along.
Oh, he'll be there, Mr. Hazelton. I'll deliver him personally.
What about Cody and EJ? They're back at the motel.
Why don't you bring him along? About 7 o'clock.
Well, just fancy we don't have any new binds.
At my parties, my guests wear whatever they want.
How about that, Stoney? One little ride and you're in the big league, huh?
Too easy, Wes. I never got something for nothing yet.
But you just did. Now listen, you play your cards right and he might make you his protege.
I'm not interested in being anybody's protege. You know where his place is at?
Listen, you and the boys get slicked up, and I'll meet you back at the motel now, here?
It's a mighty magnanimous offer.
Hey, give him my pitchfork, Bruce.
$2,000.
I've got me a friendly bet going that says you're the better rider.
Mr. Sweet, Stoney's top hand, but I ride to beat 'em all. Bet or no bet.
Fine. But you can still use some extra money, can't you?
Oh, yeah. I can always use extra money. Just don't get the idea you're buying anything.
Let's just say it's to sweeten the jackpot. You beat Burke, you've earned it.
Bruce? Honey, we've been waiting.
See you up at Sydney.
Who's that?
Oh, him? I might say that was Mr. Santa Claus with a whole bag full of answers to all our problems.
Come on.
This is some barbecue.
I bet that wasn't even Hazelton at all at Vest. Just some half-loaded joker that he dug up.
If that was it, Vest would have driven by laughing by now.
Well, here he comes, and he ain't laughing.
Hey, you boys will have to pardon me for being late now, but I come close to forgetting all about you, my new rider here. Don't just stand there drawing flies. Come on, get in.
We almost gave up on you, Vest.
Oh, man, you sooner give up on the U.S. government. From the cradle to the grave, Vest Painter always looks after his own. Home, Sydney. Tromp on that pedal mark, go.
Man, we must have come halfway across the Mexican border.
You said his place was just outside of town.
Well, that's where it starts, just outside town.
You mean from all the way back there, all the way up to here?
And all the way down to the border, boy.
That's a lot of grass.
Hey, this is just his summer place. Man, he's got 3 more just like it. One for spring, and one for fall, and one for winter. Now, when I say he's a multo-millionaire, boys, I mean heavy on the multo. Roy didn't plan nothing fancy, boys. You can see it's kind of a little feed for some of his hands. Whoa.
No thanks.
Kind of shallow in his glasses, ain't he?
Champagne, the foaming wine of the wealthy. Don't swill it, boys. It'll kick you like a bird gun.
It tastes like a bird bath.
Well, Stoney, glad you could make it.
Hi, Mr. Hazelton. These are my friends, E.J. Stalker and Cody Bristol.
All right, fellas. There's sipping whiskey down below.
Now you're talking.
Stoney, why don't you come up here? We'll have a talk. Come on in here, Stoney. What do you have to drink?
Nothing for me, thanks.
Oh, don't you drink?
I turned them off.
What do you want?
Thank you.
Where you from, Stoney?
Mission Ridge, South Dakota.
Work on a ranch?
Yeah, my family owns a small spread. Nothing like this, though.
Well, this all came out of the ground. Oil. My father left me a well. He thought it was dry, but it wasn't. All I had to do was dig a little deeper, and all sorts of things began to happen. By the time I was 22, I had gas stations named after me. It's funny, all I had to do was dig a little deeper.
You make it sound easy. I've known people who lose out on oil rights.
Well, not me. I'm a collector. I sell one to buy two. Oil, land, money, it's all the same. You treat it right, it'll grow.
Roy, Bert's here to see you.
Excuse me, Mr. Hazelton. I didn't mean to break in on your party like this.
I better drift on out.
All right, get some supper. I'll talk to you later.
Excuse me.
What is it, Bert?
It's the land deal, Roy. We're 1 inch away, 1 inch. We got it, Roy. We got him hanging by a thread.
But you didn't close it.
Well, I'll need 1 more day.
Well, you did what you could, Bert. You gave it your best shot.
Well, you know me, Roy, when I zero in on something. I've been working on this 24 hours a day, Roy. If it wasn't for old Jordan hanging on back like a conservative banker, I'd have it sewed up now.
I know you would.
And it's okay to extend for a day.
Well, maybe you could use 2 days. How about 3?
Oh, I could use a week.
Could you use a change?
Change?
Well, you know, it takes a lot of manpower to run a place this size. As a matter of fact, I could use a new hand out at the stables.
Stable hand?
How much do I pay you, Bert?
$30,000 a year.
Well, good. That'll make you the highest paid hand on the place.
Wait a minute. You don't want me.
Nobody's forcing you, Bert. You can do as you please. Well, it's all settled then. You report to Ed in the morning. He'll give you a shovel and a pitchfork. You can go to work. Now, why don't you go out and join the party?
He's worked for you for 10 years.
If he doesn't like it, he can quit.
But he's got a family.
Got your pearls.
Not bad. Well, there's one thing you can remember about old West Painter, boys. Rich living ain't gonna spoil me.
I'd have never figured Hazelton with all this. Just looking at him. He doesn't seem different from any of us, does he?
Now, don't let that easy air fool you. Underneath, he's got nerves made out of dry ice and a head that's ticking like a 14-year-old watch.
What did he say to you in there before?
Just talked. Told me about his oil leases.
What'd I tell you? Stoney, you're gonna be fitting in around here in no time.
Yeah,
You really think he's got his eye on you, Stoney?
sure.
Ah, come on, man. Stoney wins that bet for him, and Hazelton ain't never gonna forget him.
I guess you can't go wrong with him as your friend.
Or maybe if we're lucky, old Stoney here will give us a job shining up his boots.
Come on now, knock it off, huh?
Don't look now, fellers, but there's some young ladies over there casting sheep's eyes. All right, you boys go ahead and sit here now. I might as well go over there and crack a few jokes.
Aren't you the bronc rider?
Yes, ma'am.
I saw you ride today, Stoney Burke. Roy thinks you're very good.
I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Roy forgets to introduce me. I'm Mrs. Hazelton.
You do. Quite a place you have here, Mrs. Hazelton.
Yes. Roy collects prizes. Everything here is a trophy. And so is everyone.
Oh?
Well, I see you've met Mavis.
Yes, we've just met.
Why don't you stay over for a few days as my guest?
Thanks, Mr. Hazelton, but we've got to be getting over to the Sydney Rodeo.
Well, you can make that in no time. Fly over my own plane.
Well, the boys would like it.
Fine, I'll have one of the maids fix up a few rooms.
You don't think we ought to stay?
It just wouldn't be healthy for someone like you.
Well, I don't see anyone suffering.
He's just right, isn't he?
He could be champion.
Nothing but the best.
Well, he'll need a little promotion. Maybe a rodeo named after him. Publicity in all the big cities.
Are you going to buy him a white horse?
Maybe.
And a white suit with gold leaves all over it?
And a big brass band if it'll help put him over.
What if he doesn't go over? What if he goes under? What if he ends up second or pulls up lame?
I'll take him out to the pasture and shoot him.
Oh, no, you won't do that. You'll keep him.
What does it get you to come in here and hack me? I know you resent my interests.
I don't resent your interests. I resent your lack of interest.
Well, let me ask you a good, hard question. If what you say is true, why would I be interested in you? You're a loser. When I met you, you were a contender. Do you know that you had a chance to be the world's champion girl? Well, you were funny. You were fun. You dressed like a fashion plate. You had someplace to go, and you were going full blast. What happened, honey? What happened?
You happened, Roy.
You mean I wanted you to turn off?
No. I mean, you turned me off. You're right. I was a contender. I was young and hungry and going someplace. And then I met you. And I changed my whole direction. I stopped heading for whatever it is single girls head for. I married you, and I aimed my whole life right down the line.
And I tripped you up. I wrecked you. Now all you have left are your pearls and your tears.
Let's start over. Take these and my tears. Let me try to be first again.
Honey, I give you a lot of things, but I can't give you a blue ribbon. You've got to take that by winning it. First place is for those who take it. I'm sorry, that's all I know.
Will you give me a chance?
Chance is something else you have to take.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'll have some orange juice, please.
Good morning, Stoney. I hope you slept well last night.
Good morning.
Carlos, would you tell Manuel I want the car right away, please?
Are you going into town?
Yes, we're bringing a 3-year-old stud colt back to break.
Need any help?
No, thank you. They're just bringing him in down at the junction. I'd ask you along, but I have other business.
I have some shopping to attend to.
No, you stay here and keep Stoney company. Sorry to run off like this. I'll see you at lunch, huh?
May I?
Of course.
It's some breakfast. Thank you. Well, I guess you're stuck with me.
I shouldn't have said what I did last night.
About my staying over?
You're old enough to look out after yourself.
I'd say so.
I guess you're wondering about me.
Some.
We've been married for 3 years. But I feel like a house guest who stayed on too long.
Well, you don't sound too happy about it.
Well, there's always a fear of wearing out your welcome.
Is that really what's bothering you?
A woman likes to know where she stands one way or another.
Look, it's none of my business, but you look like you got everything you want.
I have, Stoney. I got everything a wife could want, except a husband.
Watch him, Stoney. He's rough.
Well, he doesn't seem too green.
Don't let him fool you.
Okay, turn him loose.
Stoney?
Roy, why didn't you let Stoney go with you this morning?
I thought maybe you'd like to get to know him better. That boy is going to be champion.
Oh, you're not going to use me to get him.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm warning you, he's different.
Well, I'm glad we agree. That makes it unanimous. Oh, it was quite a ride, Stoney.
He'll make a nice parade horse when he's good and broke.
You like him? Yeah, he's yours.
You mean it?
Well, sure. See you up at the house.
Your husband just made me a present of him.
You don't know it, but he's been handing you all kinds of presents.
Whoa, whoa, easy, whoa, 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 easy, easy, easy.
Oh, boy.
Easy, boy.
Be quiet. You new to horses? I'm sorry. Haven't I met him someplace?
Last night at the barbecue. He's one of Roy's bright young assistants.
What's he doing out here?
He's putting his kids through college.
Have you ever been married?
No.
Got a girl?
Got a few.
I'll bet you have.
Well, nothing you'd call serious.
Yeah, well, that's smart. You let a woman get too close to you, and all of a sudden she's standing in front of you.
Well, I wouldn't know much about that.
Of course, a man should have somebody to travel through life with him.
I'd say so.
Have you ever given much thought to what you'll do when your rodeoing days are over?
I figure I've got time for that.
Well, say you become champion. Say you're on top for a few years. Providing, of course, that you aren't too busted up.
That's about what every rider hopes.
Well, then what? Supposing you save some money, what would you do then?
Oh, try to get me a little land, maybe start ranching.
Kind of right back where you started, huh?
No, sir. I started with nothing at all.
Well, you know what I mean. What would you have to show for all the years of rodeoing?
Well, good life. I'm seeing this great country of ours. What you might call pride of achievement.
You know, I like you, Stoney. A man like you could have a real future.
Well, you just as good as painted me into a corner a minute ago.
Well, that depends on whose corner it is. I don't often run across a man like you. When I do, I can't help looking into the future.
Oh, future?
One thing I can see for sure, you and I can be friends for a long time.
Oh, well, you stop it. Just let him alone.
You better ease off that stuff, honey. She'll be all right.
I'm not so sure.
Relax, I know her.
You excuse me a minute?
Sure.
I just couldn't stand him buttering you like that. And you lapping it up, believing every word of it.
I was just listening.
You don't know who you're dealing with. Roy's not like anyone you ever met.
Oh, I've tangled with all kinds.
There's not a nerve in his body. He's got no feelings. You couldn't hurt him if you tried. But he could always hurt you. That's why no one stands a fighting chance with him.
Not even you?
It took me 3 years to realize that. Wasted years. The best I'll ever know. And look at what I've got left.
I can't see where you've got any kick coming. Could have done a lot worse. Look, what really bothers you? Sticking with him or the passing of time?
He's got you so goggle-eyed with his big deals that you don't know a word I'm saying to you.
Look, I'm all for married people trying to stick together. But if it's as far gone as you say, what's to keep you from packing up and doing what you want? Did he put a spell on you? You know, a man once told me he envied me being a rodeo hand, traveling around, stopping where I pleased. He got to thinking I was free as a bird drifting up there in the wind. Well, I am free in a way, but not as a drifter. Something's got a hold on me, too. It's not a person or a place. It's rodeo. It's a good life, and I'm going to live up to it by riding the best I know how. You see, there's nothing wrong with sticking with something if you love it. If you want to stay with it, you belong. If you don't want to stay with it, you're a prisoner.
He's a wild party, huh? Hey, here he comes now. Roll out the red carpet, boys. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Hey, everybody's still talking about that party, Mr. Hazelton.
Thank you.
Enjoy your horse, Stoney?
Yeah, a big sorrel named Twister.
Any problems?
Well, he bucks wild. If I don't end up underneath him, I should score okay.
Hop in, I'll buy you some breakfast.
Oh, thanks. I think I'll try around here and catch up on the talk.
Okay, I'll see you later then.
Hey, Bruce. Hi, Ves. Stoney.
Hi, Bruce. How are they treating you?
Oh, nothing to worry about. Losing sleep, spitting blood, but got no worries.
Hey, Bruce, I don't be too nosy. What you draw?
Shoot rattler from the Bowen Brothers string.
Conclusion?
End of the trail.
Stoney drawed Twister. Well, that's the way of it. That old Wheel of Fortune always stops on them clean-living young devils every time, don't it?
You stand awful low to yap so big.
Hey, Bruce, don't mess with Ves or I'll hang your front teeth off my keychain. Hey, come on.
For a minute,
He's only kidding you.
Yeah, you're pretty big stuff, aren't you?
Now, I don't know what's eating you, Bruce, but mixing with your friends is not going to ease it.
I don't mean to get crossways to you, Stoney. It's just getting tougher and tougher.
Are you really thinking of hanging up your spurs?
It's gonna be my last season.
Well, you've been a top rider for a long time.
I'd see now, would that get me banged up to where I got to walk sideways?
Come on. Got a lot of rides left in you yet.
Good luck today, Stoney.
Sure.
It's both of us.
Well, that old man, he's gonna take a lick at me. Still in all, you gotta look up to him, I guess.
You bet.
Howdy, men.
Well, look what broke loose from high society.
Almost figured you'd given up this life for greener pastures.
Well, I got homesick for the same ugly faces, so I figured I'd come back.
Have you seen Bruce around? Betty's here been looking for him.
Anything wrong?
Well, he asked me to fix a sandwich for him when he left this morning. Never did come back for it. I didn't like Bruce.
Well, maybe he seen the competition out there today and got scared. I'm only kidding now.
I saw him about an hour ago.
Was he? I mean...
What is it, Betty?
He's been acting so peculiar this past week. Not sleeping and going out all the time. I thought maybe his leg was bothering him again.
He been having trouble?
Since that spill he took in Denver. Doctor told him he was never to ride again. You know Bruce. He said the pin in his leg made him good as new.
Now, a man with a pin in his leg ought not to be riding at all.
I argued with him, but it didn't do any good. He figured if he could last out the year, bank some money, we could buy into a ranch.
Now, Betty, he ought not to take that chance. Because with that leg, every time in the Bronx...
What were you saying, Betty?
Well, he said last night, if he came out top man today, all our worries would be over.
He said that?
I had no idea day money could make that much difference.
Well, maybe I ought to have a talk with him.
Oh, please, don't tell him I said anything.
Don't worry.
Maybe he's looking for a bonus.
Yeah, maybe.
Bareback riding now, Dick Ryan. Loveland, Colorado, the Cowboy, come down the horse. Watch the action of that Cowboy's feet as he jerks those knees up into the air, trying to make points in the judges' book. The 8-second whistle means that it's a successful ride for Dick Pryor. Here's his score. It's a good one, 179, and now Mike Iceland rides into the arena. Salmon, Idaho, Cowboy, and the horse Spinner. That fucking horse lives up to his name, too, right there in front of the chute. Here's the score for Iceland, 178. 178, the judges score that man.
You ought to be out soon.
Yeah, it's the next event.
I got you going today, Roy. Austin's gonna break his neck to win this one for me.
You're talking like a loser, Lyle.
You offered Burke a little something extra to win, didn't you?
Who, me?
I figured you would. I did the same with my boy.
I know.
The only difference is, I think he's the hungrier of the two.
Yeah, well, it's the hungry ones you gotta look out for.
Oh, easy.
Oh. Okay, I'll take it. Bruce, you're being bonused on the bet, aren't you?
I got no time to talk.
He's a meanie. Bruce's head, take a long rein. All right, you make it to the whistle, you'll be in good shape.
Yeah.
Ready?
Watch the conclusion as he ducks those shoulders going across the arena. It's a rough ride for Bruce Austin. Still up there with that characteristic arm-swinging style that's winning so many points. Look out! The fall, Bruce Austin down underneath that horse.
Bruce, what is it?
That's the leg. Come on.
Here's some good news for that Cowboy. This may make that injured leg feel better. The judges have scored that ride 182 points.
EJ, I've got to go with them.
Well, I guess he got what he wanted. Now it's up to you, Stoney.
How bad is he?
It's his leg. It wasn't more than the pin holding it together in the first place.
Stoney, it's that time.
I'm sorry to hear that. What are you worried about? It's got nothing to do with you. Austin knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he knew.
You know, Stoney, I went with you because I knew you were a winner. It's the only kind of man I want around me. You're gonna have to go some to do 182. You think you can make it?
I've done it before.
I'm gonna put it to you straight. A man that comes through for me, I respect. He's someone I can trust, do big things with. I'd like you to be that man.
You better go back to the stands, Mr. Hazelton.
Stoney,
You worried about me, too?
you gonna do it for him?
You don't understand.
It's you who's missing the point. You asked me what was holding me. It's things like these. I always wanted to have some pearls like these. But I never thought about what was underneath. String. The kind they use to move puppets.
Well, I don't jump for anybody.
Have you ever thought what Roy's bet was all about? I think it's money. A few $1,000s.
You mean it's more?
A lot more. He and Lyle Sweet are betting to break a stalemate. The loser will sell 11,000 acres to the winner. After that, there'll be a big land development. The government will be interested. Before it's over, there'll be millions involved. So you go ahead. Help Roy win it. He'll be grateful to you. Real generous. There's only one string attached. The one you'll be wearing.
Stoney, you're up next.
Well, here's our last saddle bronc rider at the Sydney Rodeo this year. He's a good one. Stoney Burke, Mission Ridge, South Dakota.
All right. I know what you're thinking. Only one thing in my mind. I wouldn't be in your boots for all the hay in the barn.
Lay off him, Cody. He's got to worry about the championship.
You beat Bruce and you wipe him out. That leg of his, he'll never ride again, so he's got to make that bet bonus or go under.
You saying it's better if I fall off?
Hmm?
Stoney Burke knows as he mounts his bucket horse that he has to beat. 182 score turned in by Bruce Austin. Stoney Burke is capable of gunning. He's done it many times. Let's see if he can turn in another of his fine rides on Twister.
All right, let's try him.
Look at that big roan horse as he lunges into the arena. There's power there. Look at the timing that Stoney Burke shows. Every move of his feet. Gain points in the judges' books in perfect time with that of the horse. There's the whistle. It's a successful ride. We'll have a score in just a minute for Stoney Burke. 182, the score that he's got to beat. Bruce Austin scoring. Here it is, 185 for Stoney Burke. This means that Burke is the winner of the saddle bronc riding contest here this afternoon.
Now, Stoney, here it is. You earned it.
I got the points I went after. Give that to Bruce Austin.
All right, I'll give it to Austin. I'll write you out another one.
Keep your money, Mr. Hazelton.
You'll fly up to my place tonight, do a little celebrating, make some plans.
I don't want anything you got to offer, Mr. Hazelton.
Now, take it easy, Stoney. I know how you feel
I
about
don't
Austin.
think you do.
Well, this isn't the time or the place for
Go
this
on,
discussion.
go on. Keep making your sporting bets. Keep holding out incentives so people like Bruce Austin drive themselves to where they almost get killed.
Take it easy, Stoney.
Now, get this straight, mister. I didn't win for you. I won for myself.
Do you know what you're saying? What you're giving up?
How much do you have to win before you're satisfied, Mr. Hazelton? More land, more money? Looks to me like you're set to keep winning till you're the biggest loser of them all.
Nobody talks to me like that. Nobody. You understand? My name is Roy Hazelton, and I want you to remember that. Hazelton. People jump, and I don't even have to snap my fingers. Nobody turns me down. I can make or break people like you any day of the week. Come on, Roy. Get out. You're going to be sorry for this, Burke. I promise you.
Now's the time to leave him, isn't it?
Maybe now's the time to help him.
It is worth a try. I guess you always knew there was something else holding me.
Sure. You love him.
I never stopped.
What are you grinning at?
I don't know, Stoney. We thought maybe we lost you there for a second.
No such luck. Come on, let's get to rodeoing, huh? Want this?
Yeah.
This is Jack Lord. I'd like you to watch a few exciting scenes from next week's episode of Stoney Burke.
I ain't interested in being the first in anything. I need the money.
Wait a minute. You're no bull rider. You get paid to stay on.
8 seconds.
Well, don't you want to live longer than that?
You're doing the things for her husband should be doing. Why, you even brought her to the hospital to give birth.
Except I'm not her husband, huh?
But to Leora Dawson having her first baby among strangers, you're a mighty reasonable facsimile.
I'm gonna see my wife.
I wouldn't advise it.
Listen, Doctor, you can't tell me not to see my wife.
She's not ready for you yet.
She's not ready for me? She can see a guy you send into her, and she's not ready for me.
Leora, he didn't know. He didn't know you were gonna have a baby.
He knew he had a wife.
Yeah. But this might be his only chance to find himself.
Find himself where? How?
Where his son is, with his wife. He loves you, Leora. You know that, don't you?
What do you know about that?
Look, Leora, give him another chance, please.
I've given him every chance.
Then I'm going to ask you to give him his son.
Bert?